Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special daytime version of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. We're going to start here in just a little bit. Go ahead and share, comment whatever you want to say. This is a participation show, so feel free to comment, feel free to smash them like buttons, and definitely feel free to share. I'm going to play a video for you guys here in a minute when we give some people some time to get here. And then we're going to hang out and talk conspiracies like we always do. This is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'm going to start the video in just a minute. Hang out and listen to some of this theme music in the meantime. All right. We're going to play a video that I made for you guys. And afterwards, we're going to hang out and talk about the video and about anything you want. Any conspiracies that you'd like to discuss, we will hang out and talk about. I'm going to make the screen big for you guys. And we're going to watch this video. It's short. It's only 4 minutes long. Afterwards, we'll hang out. Enjoy the video. The mainstream media in America is a terrorist organization controlled by only 6 corporations. It is used as a weapon against every American all the time. 24 hours a day, around the clock, on every channel, you'll find nothing but lies and propaganda delivered as truth by highly paid actors posing as journalists. All news stories are establishment approved, and the only difference between the channels is whether they lean left or right. Hundreds of channels, all saying the same things and ignoring the same things, while pretending to disagree with each other about the same things. No one ever breaks from the establishment narrative or focuses on a story that shows the truth or exposes the corruption of the elites. The mainstream media is more than a weapon, and it's the most powerful weapon of the establishment. The use of propaganda against the American people is legal, and it's being used on a massive scale. It has been for a very long time, and the average person is ignorant to it because they've been brainwashed by it. Slowly over time, news ceased to be news, and no one noticed. The CIA infiltrated the media in the beginning with Operation Mockingbird to control the narrative, and over time, a monopoly of the media was allowed to take place. And now the same elite that lord over us all control everything that we read and see in the mass media. They get to control the narrative, and they get to decide what we're told, and most importantly, what we're not. Real truth is being silenced and wiped out. And while there are many people awake and aware, and many great independent journalists working on spreading the truth, far too many people still buy into the lies and propaganda, and it retains its hold over our society as a result. The mainstream media is the most powerful weapon the establishment has, and they invest heavily in it. Fighting back against it can seem to be an insurmountable task, but to not fight isn't even an option. If we lay down, if we shut up, no one will be left to speak up, and we'll have no journalism anymore, no access to anything other than the establishment narrative. And we can't allow that to happen. We must expose the mainstream media for what it is and support independent journalists and media. We need to be loud. It is time to fight this monster head on. We cannot just coexist with it and tolerate it. The mainstream media needs to be crushed completely. It needs to die. And to kill it, we need to starve it. It needs ratings to survive. It needs eyeballs on screens and people sharing it on social media and talking about it with their friends. Without that support, it dies off. So don't watch it at all. And please stop giving it free publicity, even if you're just trying to mock it. You're only feeding the beast. We fight back against this weapon by informing people, as many as we can, to stop watching it, stop reading it, and stop taking in the propaganda. Switch over to independent journalism for all of your news and information, and support it by sharing that with your friends on social media instead of Rachel Maddow or Sean Hannity or that god-awful CRTV garbage. Be mindful of what you're viewing and taking in, as well as what you're supporting by sharing. Remember, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Every share is good and can lead to more shares. It helps them even if you're sharing their stuff in a negative way. So don't watch or share the mainstream media at all. Ignore it, and instead spread the truth about it with others who still believe that it's real news with accurate, complete information delivered in a truthful manner. Because we need to keep in mind that those people are brainwashed and they've been hypnotized by a powerful weapon, and they aren't even aware that they're being deceived. It's going to take time to break that spell, but we must break it, and it's on the aware to lead the awakening. So spread the truth about what the American mainstream media has become and stop supporting it in any way. Support independent journalists instead and protect the truth while we still can. All right, that was our video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I wanted to get some more eyeballs on that video. It hasn't been doing very good on YouTube, but I honestly haven't gotten a lot of good traffic on YouTube lately. Sorry, I got to get my little stand here for my microphone. I've been real disappointed in YouTube, honestly. And I realize it just takes time to start a channel, but my channel's been going for like 2 years. So any day now, it should be going long enough to get some hits, right? I also uploaded that video that you just watched to Facebook, and I shared the link to it at the beginning of this feed here on this show. If you could share that link, I would really appreciate it. That would help me out tremendously. What I'm trying to do is grow my YouTube channel, and I want to get more eyeballs on these videos. So if you could share that link, I would appreciate that, and that would mean a lot to me. Welcome to the show. This is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'm Sean. This is a participation show, so talk about whatever you want to get into, and we'll cover it. I pay attention to the comments during the show, and I also pay attention to the comments after the show. So if you come late, don't feel like you can't comment anymore. I'll still respond to your comments. Plus, another thing I would like to ask people to do, and there's some viewers here now, is to give me some conspiracies that you're interested in seeing me cover in a video, so that I can work on those and make sure I'm giving you guys what you want to see, so that you enjoy the shows and you want to keep coming back. But to talk about the video that we watched today, it was about how the mainstream media is a terrorist organization, which it is. It's a dangerous terrorist organization. It has complete control over the narrative and has most of Americans brainwashed. And they don't even realize that they're brainwashed. They're turning on the news. They think it's news. They should be able to think it's news. It should be news, but it's not. We don't have news anymore. We have propaganda. Journalism went away. In the words of George Orwell, journalism is printing what someone else doesn't want printed. Everything else is just public relations. And that's what we have now. We have PR for the establishment. And that's all it is. That's all it is on every channel, no matter what channel you watch. If you're into left-leaning channels, it's all propaganda. If you're into right-leaning channels, it's all propaganda. They talk about the same things from a left or a right view. That's all you get. And I'm seeing people upset, like Trump revoked Jim Acosta's press pass from the White House. And honestly, again, I hate defending Donald Trump, but he had good reason to do so. Jim Acosta constantly interrupts. He does not wait his turn to speak, and he is a constant problem in the White House press room. Now, I don't know why anybody would care. I accidentally just liked my own status. I don't know why anybody would care if people are bashing Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta is not your friend. Jim Acosta is not a real journalist. CNN helped get Trump elected. Let's not forget that these people, they don't matter. You know, we need to be upset that RT doesn't have a press pass. You know, media that we can trust isn't in there with a press pass. That's what we need to be worried about. I don't care if they kick all the mainstream media out of that room. It makes no difference to me. It's all a show anyway. And right now we have a joke of a president and a joke of a presidency. He shouldn't even be president. He's president because of us and CNN and Hillary Clinton. And the only reason why I say because of us is because we held our ground and we didn't back down in the face of Donald Trump being president. We knew that we did not want Hillary Clinton and we held our ground, and I'm glad we did. I'm ashamed that Donald Trump is our president, but I didn't want it the other way around. I would not have been happy had Hillary won. And I don't think life would be better for people had Hillary won either. Jeff says Real News died along with Edward R. Murrow and Walter Cronkite. That is around the time that it ended. Operation Mockingbird was around that time, and that is when the CIA infiltrated the media. That's on record. You can look it up. Give it a Google. Look up Operation Mockingbird. The CIA infiltrated the media back in the 60s. And their holdover today is as strong as ever. Bill Clinton allowed a monopoly of the media to take place, and all of our media is owned by 6 corporations. That was made possible by Bill Clinton, a Democrat. And then propaganda, the use of propaganda against the American people was made legal by another Democrat, Barack Obama. So it is fully legal for them to propagandize the American people now. And you can thank Obama for that. But really, you can thank the establishment, because Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, they're all just tools of the establishment. We haven't had a real president since John F. Kennedy. I think Carter may have been a real president. I like Jimmy Carter. He doesn't seem to fit in with the establishment. That may have been another time that the establishment got derailed, but they've had control over the executive branch since John F. Kennedy. And the fourth wall, that's gone. We don't have journalism anymore. If you want real journalism, you have to seek it out for yourself. And we have to make sure we're protecting that. You know, I saw a lot of people cheering when Alex Jones got banned from all social media. That was not a good thing. I don't like Alex Jones, but I don't want any censorship. I'm against censorship. So again, I'm defending somebody I don't like. I don't like Alex Jones. I don't like what he stands for. I don't agree with a lot of what he says. But I do agree with his right to say those things. I do agree with his right to be able to have a platform to express himself, because I agree with my right to have a platform to express myself. And popular speech doesn't need to be protected. It's unpopular speech that needs to be protected. Unpopular speech is the reason why we have the First Amendment. We have to stand up for stuff like that. And that's another thing. I saw a lot of people getting mad about the elections, these recent elections, and feeling frustrated and wanting to give up. That is exactly what they want. Now, do I think that Florida and Texas, for 2 examples, were legit? Do I think Debbie Wasserman Schultz whipped Tim Canova with something like, 60% of the vote, and Tim Canova had single digits? They were neck and neck in the polls all the way leading up to that election. And then all of a sudden, Tim Canova pulls in single digits. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. And I don't believe that Ted Cruz beat Beto O'Rourke. I believe there was dirty play going on in both of those. I believe there was dirty play going on in a lot of the elections across our country. But if we don't unify, if we don't fight back, and if we just give up, it will only get worse. It will never get better if we don't stand together united. We have to stop letting them divide us, stop playing into the division, and move forward together. It's all to divide you, left and right, red and blue. All of it is just to divide you. We're weaker when we're divided, and that's why they divide us. It's divide and conquer. They've been doing it forever. We have to rise above that. We have to start realizing that it's going to take all of us coming together to make real change. Now, I see people that are just frustrated with voting, and I get it. I get it. As someone who's aware, it's hard sometimes to support the voting process, even though I realize without an armed revolution, that's the only way we have to go. We have to vote. That's all we have right now. And yes, it is dirty, but it's going to take all of us coming together to change that, to demand election reform, and to push for things that will help with our elections being more legit. It's funny that in the country known for its democracy, that we don't really have it. You know, and it's also sad how many people aren't aware of that. And the mainstream media is to blame for that. The mainstream media is always there to give you a scapegoat. It's always there to make excuses, and it's always there to muddy the truth. Turn it off. There's no reason to be watching it. It's poison. It does you no good at all. You know, and even if you're wanting to mock it, like you're sharing it just to make fun of Rachel Maddow, or you're sharing CRTV just to show how ridiculous it is, you are helping them. When you click that share button, you're helping them. No matter if you wrote something negative before it, it's a share. You helped get more eyeballs on that video. Now, a lot of your friends might have laughed along with you and had fun making fun of that video in the comments, but 3 or 4 or 5 people saw it and absorbed it as truth, and you helped that to happen by sharing it. Don't support it. You know, I have a really hard time keeping myself informed because I don't watch any mainstream media at all. None. The only mainstream media I'm exposed to shows up in my Facebook feed, and I try to scroll past it as fast as I possibly can. I don't even want to be corrupted with that. I don't want to take it in because I recognize it for what it is. It's just propaganda, it's dangerous, and it is a weapon. MK Ultra is also involved in this. You know, the CIA had Operation Mockingbird, where they actually infiltrated the media, sent in agents to pose as journalists. This is on record. But I also believe that MK Ultra is being used on people. If you stay with me for a second, you ever watch the news, mainstream media news, especially since it went to HD? Think about all the hypnotic imagery that comes up at the beginning of every news show. All the spinning circles and things coming in and out and coming at you. That is all hypnotizing you and getting ready to accept information. It's scientific. There's more to their brainwashing than just lying to you. It goes much deeper than that. They invest a lot of money in it, and they're very good at it. So you have to, the only way to fight it is to ignore it. The only way to kill the mainstream media is to ignore it. It needs ratings to survive. And no one is going to help us. It is on us to do these things. You know, they convince you that you're weak, but that's a lie. They're weak. The only reason why we're weak is because they have us divided. That makes us weak. If we come together, we are strong. They cannot stop us. So they make sure we don't come together. They make sure we're fighting amongst ourselves. They make sure that you're blaming your fellow man for what's wrong with the world instead of blaming the greedy, rich elite, the small percentage of people that are hoarding all of our resources and funds. Instead of blaming them, you're looking at your neighbor, and that's the way they want it. We all have the same enemies. We all have mutual enemies, and we need to move forward and fight them together. Otherwise, there's no point to any of this. If we're not going to unite and push for people to unite and push for people to wake up and push for people to come together, what are we doing? Sure, it's fun to make fun of sheep. It's fun to feel superior. But is that helping us? Is that helping our cause at all? I think we really need to push towards getting people to understand what's really going on around them. We need to start trying to break the brainwashed hold that most Americans find themselves under, and we need to realize that it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they're brainwashed. It's not their fault that they're misled. It's not their fault that they're misinformed. At some point, it's going to become our fault, because it is the duty of the awake and the aware to lead the awakening. It is the duty of the awake and the aware to inform people. And not that we don't try to do that, but I think we need to reevaluate the way we do it. We're a little aggressive. I'm guilty of it too. You know, we've informed ourselves, we've put in the work, and we're frustrated with the way the world is. And we tend to get aggressive with people that aren't aware. And that is only going to turn them off. Cognitive dissonance is real. And once you trigger someone's cognitive dissonance, their brain is just defending itself. They're not listening to you anymore. They're not absorbing any of the information. They're waiting for their turn to talk, and their brain is just trying to make sense and hold on to its grasp on reality. We need to understand that, and we need to use kid gloves. We need to adjust our strategy, because the more people we can wake up, the more people we can get aware to what's actually going on, the more chance we have to see actual progress in this country. If we allow things to continue the way they're heading, there will be no more truth. There will be no more journalism, and there will be no chance for us to fight back. They're chipping away at our rights. They're chipping away at the truth. They're trying to erase it. You know, Google wants there to be a time when you Google something, you ask Google a question, that you only get one response. The CEO of Google was saying that that's the way it should be, that right now it's too many options. There should only be one correct answer to every Google search. Now, how many things do you know that only have one side of the story? Even your most innocent things require both sides of the story. Do you want to be cut down to one side of the story? Do you want to find yourself in a situation where truth and all of that is just gone, doesn't exist anymore? I don't. But that's where we're heading. You know, I quoted George Orwell earlier. That man must have been a time traveler, because I don't understand how he could have been so right about where we were heading and where we would end up way back then. And just the things he knew about, the things he saw. I'll take my hat off to George Orwell. He had a secret lens into the future, and we're ignoring him. 1984 is a cautionary tale, not a blueprint. You know, that's where we're supposed to be afraid of, heading in that direction, not embracing it. But I wanted to do an earlier version of the show to see if I got out to some different people and pull in some ideas. So if you've got some ideas you want to see me cover and some conspiracies you want to see me get into and do videos on, please comment and let me know what those are. Right now I'm working on a video on the Vegas shooting. I'm researching for it. I'm worried about it though. I don't really want to do it because I'm hoping that my research will help me come to a more definitive stance on where I stand on the Vegas shooting. So far, I know that, in my opinion anyway, Stephen Paddock is nothing more than a patsy. I don't believe that he pulled that off. I don't believe that he was the shooter. I believe he was a patsy and a fall guy. And most likely MK Ultra. MK Ultra patsies are used all the time. In a lot of these mass shootings, you're going to find a lot of patterns. You know, you'll see stories where the FBI tries to radicalize people. A lot of these things are orchestrated. That doesn't mean that they didn't happen. That's what people don't understand when people say that something was orchestrated or an event was a false flag. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean people didn't die. It means it didn't happen the way you're being told that it happened. But go ahead and comment and let me know what you guys want to talk about. I've got some stuff written down. We can go a little while longer, but we can continue as long as you guys want. As long as you guys are talking and having stuff you want to talk about, we'll keep going. I did this, like I said, because I'm having a little bit of writer's block and I'm stuck on ideas. I want to make some videos for you guys, but I want to make sure I'm making videos that you guys are into and enjoying. So let me know what topics you would like to see me cover, and I'll get to work on doing it. So I noticed I got some people here. Hi, Chris. Hey, Steve, Rob, Jeff, Shauna. Go ahead and comment anything you want to talk about. Hi, Babels. How was day?
Okay, cold.
It's cold. Yeah, it'd be cold out in these streets.
Let's get 2-3 inches tonight.
Are we really?
Starting with rain first.
It's supposed to snow in Missouri tonight, apparently.
Bayless might be stuck at home.
I'm supposed to open tomorrow, too. But so I said, I went ahead and told you I'm working on the Vegas shooting video. So if you have any tips or any insight on the Vegas shooting, go ahead and share that with me too. And maybe a good video I should check out or good information I should look into on that. I'm also working on a series on MK Ultra, but I just scrapped it and started over. I wasn't happy with the way it was going. I'm being too hard on myself on that one because I want to do a really good job on it. Because like I said, I believe MK Ultra never stopped. I believe it still is going on to this day. Then I also want to do one on HAARP. You guys aware of HAARP? Some of you might be. It is a very large antenna farm run by the CIA that is supposed to be tampering with the ionosphere. And a lot of people believe that it is a weather manipulation device. But I hope you won't get disenfranchised and stop participating in the political process because it's rigged. Because that's one of the ways they rig it, is by getting people not to want to participate. All right, well, this was just a short version of the show. I wanted to show you that video just as nanotechnology. That would be interesting too. I also want to do a better one on AI, the threat of AI. Elon Musk spends a lot of his time warning humanity about AI. Now, either he's fear-mongering or he knows something that we need to know, that we don't know. Because he talks like Terminator is getting ready to happen in real life. That AI will destroy humanity once it's fully rolled out. That's straight out of Terminator. And one of the smartest people in the world is worried about that. And he happens to be involved in those kind of industries that work with AI. So I think we might want to listen to him. But he also says that we're past the tipping point and it's too late to stop it. He wants humans to merge with AI through things like RFID chips and implants. He says that's the only way that we're going to survive the AI invasion. But I would have to look into nanotechnology a little more, Jeff. I will, though. I'm going to research that. I need a smarter person to be my assistant, my research assistant. Find me the facts and let me make the video. Because I get really caught up in the research and really worried about whether or not I'm going to say something wrong, especially when I'm talking about things like AI or 5G or nanotechnology, for example. Because I want to really be informed before I go making a statement about it. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you guys for coming. And comment in the thread anything you'd like to see me go into, like Jeff did, like nanotechnology, anything you'd like to see me cover, so I can have some ideas to make you guys some more videos and we can hang out and watch them. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little while. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill.